Hi, this is Tanya, and I want to give you a quick tour of the Easy Expense Tracker. So down here at the bottom, you're going to notice the tab names, and these uh, are in three sections. First, we have kind of the general and setup section, and then we have the input section, and then we have the dashboards. So if you notice that you go when you start at hello, this is just going to be a little bit about me and about our business, Tidy Books. And then you can read through the instructions as you need in this tab. And then on the monthly checklist is going to be where you start by going through each month. I have started this in January 24. Basically, after you've completed a year, you can hide these rows, but this is where you'll go through your checklist each month and make sure that you are doing everything that needs to be done each month. Configuration, this is where you will enter your business name and your first and last name. And then the expenses, this is your expense list, and this has been customized to a photography expense list, and we have some extra line items here that you can add your own customized expenses, or you can change anything here. But basically, this is what will be auto-populating in the following tabs. So when we go to the input tab, this is a blank tab. The input and the dashboards are blank tabs. And then we've got your income and your expenses. So this is where you will be entering your data every month. And you're going to start with your income. I've already pre-filled this so that we can get a feel for what the expense tracker does. But basically, you're going to enter your product description, your client name, and then your date. And then it's going to auto-populate the month and year, and then you're going to add your amount. Same with expenses, except in expenses, you're going to see a drop-down option, and this is where as you enter, you'll enter your description here, and then you're going to select a drop-down. So let's say you bought another lens. We'll do a drop-down, scroll down to equipment and gear. We'll enter the date. Let's say it was February 5th, and then it was $500. So this is where you're going to be doing the bulk of your work each month. And then what happens is the income and expenses are automatically calculated into your dashboards at the end of the Google Sheet. So let's start with income. I have entered data through June of 2023. And so you can see that it totals your sales here in column E. And then we have a nice graph that shows how your income has fluctuated over the past 6 months. If you scroll down, you can see 2024 and 2025. After each year, you can either hide this section or you can choose the next year and fill in 2024 and so on. In the expense overview, it's the same thing. You're going to see a total of all expenses for each month. And then you're also going to see a year-to-date column. So you can see that so far the year-to-date total expenses is $19,000. And then you're going to see a nice spreadsheet, a nice chart over here as well. If you scroll down on the expense overview, you will be able to sort your expenses by category. So let's say you want to see how much you have spent in education and research, or how much you have spent in equipment and gear for the year. You can easily pull those numbers, and then you can scroll down, and we've got 2024 and 2025 ready to go. And I believe we have the option to pull through 2026, and we'll be updating the tracker, in the years following that. And then let's go on. We've got a profit overview and a profit detail. So let's start with the profit overview. So we've entered data through June of 2023. So it is pulling the total sales, total expenses, and then it's calculating what your gross profit is, which is basically sales minus expenses is your gross profit. The nice thing about this, then we start getting into percentages. So this column G is going to calculate your profit margin. So what percentage is left of your money is left over at the end of each month. And then we've got a total column down here. So total year to date, the profit margin is 51%. And then we also have pre-filled percentages and to recommend the amounts that you should be setting aside for owner's pay, for taxes, and to keep in your business. Now, you can customize these if you would like to. We have chosen 40%, 30%, and 30%. And then you'll be able to see basically each month the recommended percentage to be setting aside. This is really helpful for a lot of people to see, especially owners pay, how much they might be able to pay themselves each month. And you can also see it by total, the year total down at the bottom. And then this is also a nice chart that you can see how the profit has fluctuated each month. May was a great month. These are totally made up numbers, but you'll be able to see how your business is doing, especially in the photography world. Things fluctuate so much. You'll be able to see at a glance how the business is doing. And then we've got the profit detail, and this is going to really come in handy at tax time, because what this does is totals your income. You'll select the year at the top. We've selected 2023. You'll see a total for your income, and then you're going to see a total of your expenses under the expenses category at the bottom, but then it's going to detail out a summary of total expenditures in each category. So photo supplies, advertising and marketing, and so on. It's going to total your categories there. So that's going to be really helpful whether you're passing this along to your CPA or entering this in TurboTax. This is the tab that you're going to want to look at in that case. And something to note here is you will not see all of your expenses from your input tab listed, but as soon as you enter an expenses in a new category, it will automatically add the line item and it will total up all of the expenses for that category. Okay, that is an overview for the Easy Expense Tracker for photographers.